Going in depth here tonight, Pickens County now has a new sheriff. Last week, Tommy Blankenship was sworn into office. Fox Carolina, the only news outlet there when it happened. Blankenship has been with the sheriff's office for nearly 20 years and now takes over the top spot after being elected in November. And going in depth on the future of Pickens County is the newly elected sheriff himself, Tommy Blankenship. So, Sheriff, thank you so much. Congratulations. Let's go and start from the very beginning here. We were there as you were sworn in. What was your first action in office as the sheriff of Pickens County?
Well, as I said during the campaign, there were a few things that I wanted to do first and foremost. One of those was to pray over my officers. So as they came in and each one of them was sworn as groups, I prayed over them, I prayed for them, and I prayed with them. I prayed that they would be protected, that they would remain safe and under God's guidance. I prayed that we would be honorable to serve the citizens of Pickens County, and that I prayed that I would be worthy to serve as their sheriff.
What's the first thing that citizens of Pickens County will notice the difference under a Blankenship administration?
Oh, absolutely. So I hope they've already seen that there's a lot more community engagement under my leadership. That's something that was very important to me, that people understood that being sheriff, running the sheriff's office, is about more than just enforcing laws. That is a very important and one of our most important jobs. But second and very close to that is that we are serving our citizens, that we're taking care of those that can't take care of themselves, also protecting those that can't protect themselves. So I hope they've seen that through our social media outreach, as well as, and I know you guys covered the Christmas event that we had there at the sheriff's office, where we had Santa Claus and we had the inflatables, and where there were gifts and things, and that was a special time for us to be able to give back to those that support us, because what we're trying to do is build relationships with our communities, because we can't do our job without their support. They ultimately give us the authority to do our jobs.
Something you said at the swearing in, you said you wanted to love on the people of Pickens County. It's not often you hear a sheriff use the term love. Is that one way you're able to do that, is love on the people of Pickens County with that community outreach? And if so, how else are you going to be able to show that?
Absolutely. And so with me being so faith-based, love is the most important aspect that I think I could emanate out to our citizens. But with that comes the other side of love, because with love comes consequences. The father that loves his child does not spare the rod, because true love requires discipline. And that's something I'd like to share with you today, if I could, is that the other side of that image, the balance of that dichotomy, is I do want to show that love and that outreach. I do want the citizens to know that kindness and love comes from our agency, but to quote that old adage of don't mistake my kindness for weakness, that's very much what our agency will represent. If you are a law-abiding citizen who is a productive member of society, I want you to know that we care for you and we want the best for you. If you decide to be on the other side of the law, that you want to practice lawlessness, that you want to be a wrongdoer, do be aware that I stand by what the Bible says in Romans chapter 13 about bearing the sword. And government's job is for the good of the people, lest they be wrongdoers. And then be aware we do not bear the sword in vain or for no reason.
Lastly here, transparency is something you've talked a lot about under a Blankenship administration. Say things do go wrong. Say there is an unfortunate situation with the sheriff's office. What kind of transparency could the people of Pickens County expect from you as sheriff?
Oh, absolutely. Full transparency up to the point where it would inhibit an investigation. So I want them to know that first and foremost, I'm a very humble person. If we make a mistake, more than willing to admit that we made a mistake. At the end of the day, it all falls at my feet as the sheriff. And I have no qualms with apologizing and no issue with being held accountable for the mistakes we make. Any information that we can provide, as long as it will not inhibit our investigation or an agency's outside investigation of an action within our department, that information will be released. No issues whatsoever.
As much transparency as possible.
Absolutely, yes, sir.
All right, Sheriff Blankenship, thank you so much for your time.
Appreciate it, Justin. Thank you.